Now at 7, authorities say a driver crashed into the Chipotle and Wood Village on purpose. We have the latest details on the investigation.
Are you available to start? We got a ticket guy running around. One caller or a couple callers that he had a gun that is not loaded in his hand.
We're also taking a look at this newly released body cam video that shows what led an officer to hit an armed, naked suspect with his patrol car in Northeast Portland. And later.
So all we're seeing is basically noise at this point, not real data.
Rumors spreading online that Mount Rainier is rumbling, but scientists say that is not the case. So what caused the confusion coming up at 7:15. Sunrise streaming live at 7 starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. All right, Chris and Rod, we're 1 week away from what exactly? Rod, you want to answer?
When I do
eating too much.
Yes,
I'm going to go with eating too
Thanksgiving
much.
coming up 1 week from today. We will get to Rod in just a moment. Chris, I think we're going to lead off with you here, though, because you have...
Yeah, it's been a rough morning on the roads, guys. I'm going to start off with this. I-84 westbound, a couple cars tangled up in what appears to be an injury crash. I've already seen one ambulance pull away from the scene, but 2 westbound lanes are blocked right now. This is the look from Lloyd Center, and traffic is just parked out into the Hollywood district and beyond. The drive-in from Troutdale has been bumping around a little bit. You may have seen it at almost 70 minutes a few minutes ago. I can assure you that most of this backup at this point, a solid 45 of it anyway, is between I-205 and I-5. So take Sandy Boulevard, save yourself the time. See, there you go. It's bouncing around a little bit, just indicating just how slow that inbound commute is. All right, let's get back to the other problem on the south side of town, getting into Wilsonville. A crash near the Boone Bridge. I'll get back to that in a second. This is actually in Polk County. Highway 51 remains closed at this point north of Independence because of a crash. Rogers Road is going to be your detour to get around that. No update from ODOT in terms of getting that road reopened, but we'll certainly keep you posted as we roll through the morning commute. The rest of the drive really heavy into Wilsonville. Rod, that lower left-hand corner is the crash on the Boone Bridge, and that drive getting in from Marion County is backed up to Donald.
You had nothing nice to say, Chris. Holy cow, what a morning. Here's our radar. We've had some rain last night. Now we have scattered showers on the radar. So far, very little has been in the valley the last handful of hours, so we're probably starting to get some drying on the pavement to some degree. I've seen some heavy showers continue to flow up toward Long Beach, and that's still going on, some heavy rain. On the flip side, you drop down to Lincoln City. We've got dry weather and a little bit of thinning in the cloud cover from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera, and there are thin spots in the cloud cover over Portland this morning as well. Temperature, not bad. We've been in the 30s the last couple nights. We're in the 40s out the door this morning. Scattered showers around, mainly dry at noon, and then should be nice and fairly bright. Partly cloudy and 54 this afternoon when the kids get out of school. That's your forecast.
Thank you, Rod. Starting in just 30 minutes, the Tualatin Police Department and other law enforcement agencies from Clackamas County will begin a traffic enforcement mission to ensure that drivers are safe while they are commuting. Multiple traffic officers will be deployed throughout the city to look for dangerous driving behaviors like speeding, distracted driving, and following too closely. The traffic mission will end at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office is investigating after someone drove a car into the Wood Village Chipotle last night.
According to deputies, the driver crashed on purpose. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live from the location with a look at the damage and where the investigation stands. Good morning, Corey.
Good morning, China. Drew, that's right. This crash happened yesterday at 7 p.m. in the 900 block of Northeast Wood Village Drive. The damage still very apparent this morning, as you can see from the current scene. Crime scene tape blocking off the parking lot to this property. There's also boarded up windows where that crash took place at the Chipotle. Now, multiple employees have come this morning since we've been out here, and I asked one of them recently if they plan to reopen today. She said she's unsure, and it's up to their team leader to decide. But according to authorities, they say the driver hit the front of the restaurant on Wednesday, then backed out and took off. Staff and customers were inside at the time, but thankfully no one was hurt. However, several windows are now damaged, which forced the business to close early last night. Deputies say it appears whoever did this did it on purpose, but they're not exactly sure why. That incident is now being investigated as first-degree criminal mischief.
Kind of makes you feel bad because, it's like, what does the world come to, People driving their cars into restaurants, like people just working, people trying to get food, it's sad.
Now, Multnomah County investigators are working to identify the driver. They're using information from the community, but also evidence that they've gathered here at the scene. They're asking anyone with information that could lead to an arrest to contact them. Drew, China.
All right, Corey Johnson live for us this morning there in Wood Village. Meanwhile, there's a warrant out for a Portland woman accused of neglecting her 2 children after she failed to show up for court 2 days in a row. Last Friday, police performed a welfare check at the Southeast Portland apartment of 32-year-old Ruby Godina Velador. Family members reported her saying that she didn't pick up her 9-year-old daughter from school that day. Officers described the living conditions there as filthy and dangerous. Rotten food in the apartment, they said. There was feces smeared on the walls. Police also say that the woman's 11-year-old autistic son was sitting alone on the couch naked. When they got there, they found the mom in another room and took her into custody.
Police in Gresham found the puppy they say was stolen during a robbery on Monday night. The owner of this 9-month-old German Shepherd mix says 4 people attacked him and took the dog. While police say the dog is safe, they are not releasing any other details about how she was found, saying the case is still under investigation.
TriMet says it's eliminating 68 positions as a way to deal with budget issues. More than half of those positions were already vacant, but they did lay off 26 people. TriMet says no union workers lost their jobs, but some of them were placed in a different position if their current job was one of the ones eliminated.
Portland now has a ban on software some leaders insist was driving up rent. So last night, city councilors voted to approve a new ordinance that prohibits property owners from using algorithms to set rent prices. Those programs collect data from other landlords in order to suggest pricing. Supporters say that threatens fair competition and artificially inflates rent, but opponents like City Councilor Dan Ryan argue this is not the way to fix the housing crisis.
And we can't do rent control at the city level, but this is a small step that we can take to keep people in their homes.
I cannot support creating legislation without proof of a problem that needs solving. We need laser focus to improve our city's services and address Portland's most pressing issues.
Oregon also just reached a $7 million settlement with the nation's largest landlord, Greystar, which was accused of using these types of tools to collude and raise rent.
The revenue forecast for the state of Oregon through the year 2027 is up by more than $300 million. The Office of Economic Analysis says corporate income taxes are the biggest reason for that forecast jump since last quarter, but it's still not enough, they say, to get the state back into the black. Oregon is facing a projected $63.1 million deficit, meaning there could be cuts coming to state programs. The state is also looking at a drop in federal funding because of the Republican spending bill that passed over the summer.
For years, Oregon students have struggled in the classroom and rank among the lowest nationwide in reading and math.
One of the biggest problems is kids simply not showing up to school. They're not there enough. We have some new numbers that show how attendance fared last year. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us now live to break down those numbers. Thomas?
Hey, good morning, guys. And yeah, look, I've been doing these stories for a while. I rarely have anything good to say. Today, I got a little sliver of hope. Those numbers are going up a little bit. Students are going to class a little bit more, though they're still way lower than they need to be. And look, this isn't a problem just facing Oregon. Nationwide, schools are struggling to get kids back into the classroom after the pandemic. A kid is labeled chronically absent when they miss 10% of school days or more. Of course, the more school they miss, the more likely they are to fall behind. Last year, here's the big number to keep track of. A third of Oregon students were chronically absent, meaning hundreds of thousands of kids just didn't go to school enough. Before the pandemic, around 80% of students were regular attendees. Recently, Oregon has also strayed away from penalizing parents and taking them to truancy court if their kids miss school. Oregon Department of Education Director Dr. Charlene Williams says they don't have a plan to include punishments like truancy court again. Instead, they're looking to logistical changes. Is there changes to transportation or after-school care they can do to ensure kids are in school more often?
Is it fair to penalize them potentially if there are systems we can help put in place? And so it's a complex topic that we need to continue to wrestle with.
And here's the thing, it's a complex topic, but it's one that they've been working on for 4 or 5 years now as kids are coming back to class out of the pandemic, still nowhere close to the numbers they'd like to see. Once again, a third of kids in Oregon not getting the class time that they need. Guys?
All right, Thomas Schultz with the deep dive on the numbers there for us this morning. Thank you, Thomas. We do want to get back to Rod Hill with his Thursday forecast, but first, this live look from our Timberline Lodge Skycam. We've got snow on the mountain. It's that time of the year, but not enough snow, Rod. That's one of the kind of big picture weather stories that you've been following for weeks now.
Yeah, we just did a comparison. We've had, Meadows has basically picked up about a third of total snowfall going back to the 1st of October, meaning every snowflake that falls and then melts. They've only picked up about a third of what they had to date a year ago. And of course, a year ago, the resorts were open. So that is an inch of fresh snow on the ground that Drew just showed you, and that's all that is on the ground. And that will likely be melting, if not this afternoon, tomorrow afternoon. So yeah, that's not looking great. Here's a look at our scattered shower pattern on radar. We've got some heftier showers that are hitting, just kind of nipping along Astoria, then pushing inland up around Long Beach. So far, Portland and Salem, we've been pretty dry over the last handful of hours. But yeah, that's some pretty good rain hitting you folks up in Long Beach. Good morning to you this morning. Here's a pretty camera shot from the Springs at the waterfront Vancouver location, looking across the interstate bridge. Some breaks in the cloud cover this morning. Good visibility. And with the clouds and the passing rain last night, we're much warmer than 24 hours ago. We're all holding at 40 or better. It's 46 up in Scappoose and Battleground this morning. Well, Aurora's at 39 in Estacada. You folks have just dropped below 40. 43 Salem, 40 degrees in Albany. This afternoon, we actually have a pretty good day coming up. We've got kind of diminishing scattered showers in terms of a threat this morning. Mainly dry, partly cloudy, 50-degree temperatures this afternoon here on the west side. Some showers lingering this afternoon out of the blues, but a lot of you in Central and East Oregon will see dry weather moving forward, and your high temperatures today expected to be in the 40s. 7-day forecast, so once we lose the shower threat in the coming hours, today turns out to be mainly dry. Dry tomorrow, dry Saturday. It now looks like it will be raining on Sunday. A front that was timing for Monday is speeding up. I don't know how many people are behind pushing it, but somebody is. And that's going to get here on Sunday, and we're going to have rain. All right, here's Chris.
We need to speed the morning commute up. It's been a rough one, Rod, and we start off with the Banfield, I-84 westbound. At least one car, possibly two, in this injury crash reported near the I-5 split. So it's just around the curve here from Lloyd Center. And you can see the westbound commutes moving along at 9 miles an hour or less. And that slowing extends all the way out to 82nd Avenue. So with that in mind, the trip in from Troutdale has been averaging right around 60 minutes or so for the last little while. And again, most of that backup is inside of I-205. If you have the opportunity, try Sandy Boulevard instead. That'll get you around some of the backup. Things improving, I think, south of Wilsonville. We had an earlier crash and a stall on the Boone Bridge or near the Boone Bridge. It appears that that is in the clearing stages. However, I-5 traffic is backed up about 7 miles all the way into the Donald area. I'll pull out a little bit and you can see the drive northbound out of Marion County. It's going to take folks lots of extra time this morning. Drew?
All right, lots to cover there, Chris, for sure. Here's what's coming up next on the Sunrise Show. We're talking about a false alarm at Mount Rainier, why volcanic experts say recent readings about seismic activity near the mountain are painting the wrong picture. We have that story for you in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Scientists in Western Washington are debunking articles and social media posts claiming that there is concerning seismic activity at Mount Rainier. Now, they say it is not true and that Mount Rainier's activity is normal. The Pacific Northwest Seismic Network says that these false claims came after people misinterpreted data from one of their seismic stations on the mountain that's having technical issues.
So that antenna is trying to send the data, but it's trying to blast it through the coating of ice that's undoubtedly built up on the antenna. And it just doesn't have the power to get the signal out, so all we're seeing is basically noise at this point, not real data.
So they say any unusual seismic activity would be picked up by other stations on Mount Rainier, which is not the case.
Rob, we'd like to preface your weather forecast by saying only real official data will be used in this forecast.
I made the assumption, some of you, I don't know, but I'm making the assumption, which you shouldn't do.
You know what they say.
Here we go.
Some Yahoo got online and looked at a faulty instrument and went, oh my gosh, this is happening. And then the people that get paid for a living had to take the time to go, no.
I want to point out, not only did you assume something there, you went into like full acting mode. You gave us a pretty good description of this assumed person.
Well, they have a beard, I think. Yeah.
My dad used that term, Yahoo.
Yahoo?
Yeah.
That's
Who's that Yahoo you're talking to?
Yeah,
I don't know what it means, but.
Here's a look at our Timberline camera. We talked about the comparison of a year ago, last hour, and then we kind of touched on it a moment ago. They're moving some snow around. There's an inch of snow up on the ground there. 28 is the temperature. Snow level's been about 4,000 or 4,500 this morning. There have been snow showers showing up at Santiam and Willamette Pass, but not really expecting that to turn into anything. It'll be fizzling. This is the comparison. So, a lot of talk over the last week or so of the early season 1 year ago. On the 20th of November a year ago, Ski Bowl was open, period, every single day. So was Meadows, so was Timberline. Last year, on the 20th of November, today's date, Timberline had a 49-inch base. They had seen 90 inches total snow come and go going back to the 1st of October. Meadows had a 42 base, 72 total come and go. And then you compare it to the white numbers that we have currently on this day. No base at Timberline. Yeah, they picked up an inch overnight. 54 total. No base at Meadows. Yeah, they picked up an inch overnight. 19-inch total. I mean, look at that. 19 inches compared to 72. So clearly we are nowhere close to a year ago, and there are no good signs showing up still that we would have any skiing or boarding on Thanksgiving weekend, which, by the way, is not unusual. I'm making a comparison to one of the best early seasons we had seen in decades. But, once we get to December, then you start getting a little antsy if we're not building a base. So hopefully that will happen. This fetch of clouds is the one that will be streaming up into Canada and maybe nipping some rain into Seattle as early as Saturday, but mainly leaving us alone. We had the rain come through last night. Portland picked up 18/100ths of an inch. We've got scattered showers now lingering. The one spot that's been getting hammered, heavy rain just outside of Astoria and up into Long Beach. Futurecast shows at 9 o'clock this morning some showers mainly on the west side of I-5, and then those showers fizzle out and we go into a partly cloudy, mainly dry afternoon really across the entire region for the most part. We have fog tomorrow morning, a dry Friday. Notice these clouds. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a cloudy Saturday coming, but Saturday still looks to be dry. Sunday's the day that now is in the rain department. The live camera from the Oregon Veterans Home camera out in the Dalles, a little hazy out there looking. 42 is the temperature, not much wind. Here's the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha. 46 degrees is the number, and with the cloudiness around, of course, we're in the 40s generally instead of the 30s this morning. 43 down in Salem and Eugene. Everybody's above freezing, and here come your 7-day forecast numbers. 54 today, nice partly cloudy afternoon. Fog to sun tomorrow. Saturday might cloud over, and if it does, it'll be cooler than 55. And then we've got rain in the forecast now Sunday and scattered showers on Monday. Here's Chris.
A rough morning commute thus far. We pick it up with that. That's the Banfield. There's a crash right near the Blumenauer Bridge, so it's just east of the I-5 split. Westbound left lane is still blocked, and you can see the traffic is running really thick on the 84 westbound commute, like 8 miles an hour or so all the way out to I-205. So lots of extra time needed for that drive. You may want to consider using Sandy Boulevard instead. 50 minutes at last check is what our drive sensors peg that commute in from Troutdale. South of town, earlier trouble on the Boone Bridge appears to have cleared. That's the good news, getting out of Marion County up into Clackamas County and Wilsonville. The bad news is the drive is really backed up all the way towards Donald. China, that's about a 6 or 7 mile backup into Marion County northbound on I-5 this morning. Back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Coming up next on Sunrise, we're sharing new video from Portland Police that shows officers chasing down a man who is running through the Lloyd district armed with a gun and naked. Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back. Newly released body cam footage is shedding some light on the night that a naked man was running around Northeast Portland neighborhood with a gun.
We do want to let you know that Portland Police edited some of this video before they released it. Also, some viewers may find the video difficult to watch. KGW's Amma McCarty walks us through it.
Available to start. We got a naked guy running around. One caller, or a couple callers, and he had a gun that is not loaded in his hand.
On the night of November 5th, dispatchers fielded calls about a man without clothing running around with a handgun in the Lloyd district.
Are you guys seeing a naked guy running around?
Portland police eventually spotted the man and heard a single gunshot.
Oh, he just shot.
Copy. Looking like it is a gun.
I'm gonna hit him. Okay.
Copy. A shot is fired. On emergency.
Run him over, dude.
Make I go.
Stop firing.
Copy. Shot fired. On emergency. Yeah.
Guns out of his hand.
That action considered by the Bureau as a use of deadly force, though the suspect survived. As some officers searched for the gun,
We're looking for it outside the Denny's right now.
the suspect got up and took off.
All right, he's going to be running southbound on Grand, approaching the Motel 6.
Police in pursuit get out of their cars shouting commands.
Hey, get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Initially following those instructions, video then shows the suspect getting up and going into the building.
Hey, Taser! Taser deployed! Taser deployed!
Officers cuff the man, who knocks his head into the ground.
Stop hitting your head.
I'm sorry. I submit. Please, I cooperate.
I know you are. Stop. Relax and breathe. Help's here.
That man, later identified as 43-year-old Robert Hatley, admitted to taking meth. He was treated at the hospital, released, and booked into jail. Police found the gun in the front bumper of the police vehicle that hit him.
Again, that was Amma McCarty reporting for us. Hatley faces charges of unlawful use of a weapon and felon in possession of a firearm. The two officers involved were placed on administrative leave, and Portland Police is still investigating this incident. All right, let's take a look at some national headlines here with your morning rush. Former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers addressed students this week about his statement of regret over his communications with Jeffrey Epstein. A clip of his address to the students was posted here to TikTok. Summers is also a past president at Harvard University and has been under scrutiny since the release of some of the Epstein documents. He stepped aside from his teaching role at Harvard while the school investigates his ties to the convicted sex offender. New emails show that Summers and Epstein were in contact in July of 2019, just one day before Epstein's arrest. The Department of Justice admitted that only 2 grand jurors saw the final indictment that was signed by a judge to charge former FBI Director James Comey with lying to Congress and obstructing a congressional proceeding. In a hearing held to potentially throw out the case, a judge decided not to rule, saying that the issues are too complex and ordered prosecutors to file more information. The Federal Reserve is signaling that it may not cut interest rates again next month. Newly released info shows many Fed officials oppose a December rate cut. The Fed did lower rates last month to help a slowing job market, but markets expect rates to hold steady here, with futures showing about a 68% chance of no change. And that's a look at your morning rush.
No lip service, no platitudes. Action, action, we want action!
Oof. Coming up here in our next half hour, more of that video from a heated Portland City Council meeting that you have to see. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz is going to break down what sparked all that screaming and shouting. Also at 7:30, it's Leaf Day for parts of Portland, so we're going to let you know exactly where, because if you don't know and you don't move your car, it could get towed.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We are coming up on 7:29 on what's been a rough Thursday morning drive. Let's give you a look at the roads right now. This is our big trouble spot, I-84 westbound, a crash near the I-5 split. It's been there for almost an hour, and we still have the left lane blocked. There we are at Lloyd Center, and really the slowing is all the way out to 82nd Avenue. I can show you on the traffic map here. If you've got the opportunity, I think Sandy Boulevard would be a better bet right now. Otherwise, you're facing a pretty long westbound commute. Total tripping from Troutdale at last check, 51 minutes to the I-5 split. Rod?
Well, there's the big story of the morning. Thank you, Chris. Weather-wise, we had the passing rain overnight. This is what's left, scattered showers. We've had this kind of outlier where it's just been pounding rain coming into near Astoria and then inland up around Long Beach. This is gorgeous. Sun now rising from the, that's really pretty, right? The springs at the waterfront in Vancouver. Temperatures out the door are generally in the 40s. PDX is at 46. Been pretty dry in Portland for the last 3+ hours, but we carry a lingering scattered shower threat this morning. Should be a dry, partly cloudy, 54-degree afternoon. We have rain in Sunday's forecast now. That is a forecast update.
Good morning. We are taking a live look at the state capitol from our Salem Skycam as we wake up at 7:30 in the morning.
Still has
We waking up at 7:30?
I'm still waking up. I don't know
That's
about
true.
you guys.
That's true.
It's a 5-hour process at this point.
It takes a long time. I don't know why, but every single time I see that camera, it reminds me of, oh my gosh, now I just blanked on it.
You forgot what it reminds you of.
Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus.
I can't help
the
you with
movie
that one.
Hocus Pocus, because the first time in my life, I grew up in Vegas, I saw like a pretty little city with leaves was that movie. And so now every time I see that, I'm like, Hocus Pocus.
Boys, raise your hand if you've seen the movie Hocus Pocus. Yeah,
The Sanderson sisters.
Oh, you have?
I have seen it, yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah, I saw it with my daughter. Yeah.
Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
You know there's two of them now, right?
Yeah.
2 Hocus Pocuses?
Yes.
A pair of Hocus Pocuses?
We have a lot of work to do, Drew.
Oh, I'm sorry. Christopher? No Hocus Pocus here. This is all real and this is crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately, on a serious note, it's not been a very good morning commute. We start off with the Banfield. That's our big trouble spot at this point now. I-84 westbound, an earlier injury crash near the I-5 split. It looks like we still have emergency responders on scene. This is the live look right now at Lloyd Center. Traffic is slow, really slow. I mean, like stopped slow all the way out to 82nd Avenue. Nice to see the sunshine there. But you put all that together, and the westbound drive from Troutdale has been bouncing around between 50 and 60 minutes for the last little while. Sandy Boulevard, a good way to get around that. All right, earlier trouble south of town on the Boone Bridge has finally cleared, but if you're hitting the road in Salem or Woodburn and you're headed north, you have a heavier than normal commute that's probably going to take you about 28 minutes to get from Woodburn just to Wilsonville. Rod?
Just one of those mornings, I guess, Chris. Thank you for the update. We have scattered showers out there right now. This is the heavy rain bullseye. And it's been one shower after another up in Long Beach. Sometimes that happens. Portland's been dry for about, 4 hours now. We've got Salem that's been mainly dry for about 4 hours. There's China's pretty little city, Salem Sky Camera. 43 is the number with some thinning clouds, and we have thinning clouds over Portland as well. Our number is at 46. This turns into a nice day. Few lingering showers, maybe as late as noon, but otherwise becoming dry, maybe completely dry moving forward where you are, in fact, with temperatures getting up into the low to mid 50s. That's your forecast.
All right, thank you for that, Rod. Here comes an understatement. Tensions flared at a Portland City Council meeting last night as councilors discussed a policy aimed at the city's ICE facility. Now, wait till you see this video, because more specifically here, they all got charged up over an idea that would charge detention centers like the ICE facility with permits.
So Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us from City Hall downtown. Thomas, walk us through what happened here.
Yeah, guys, those residents had a lot to say as City Council discussed the idea of hitting detention centers with fees. Now, while it wasn't named specifically, this idea is all about the ICE facility down in South Portland. Revenue under this idea would be used to counteract unique costs of the facility. In the proposal, councilors say Portland police have spent around $300,000 this year in operations down there. The amendment claims pollutants like chemical residue from things like pepper spray ran off into the water. And people, as Drew mentioned, had really strong ideas here. Some wanted the idea to go into effect immediately. Others say it's pointless.
We need to make sure that we do all we can to promote the reason for trusting government. And this is one first step. I want you all to vote yes.
Why can't this council seem to come up with anything other than lip service and platitudes?
No lip service, no platitudes. Action, action, we want action.
And yeah, that wasn't the end of it. City councilors had a lot more coming throughout the rest of the meeting. They didn't vote on an ordinance, but they did approve an amendment. Still, it didn't stop people from attending, calling for a recall.
These are disruptions to the meeting. This is a warning that if there's continued disruption, you will be ejected. Can we please eject the individual screaming in the back of the room?
Yeah, so that delayed this meeting for quite some time, as you could hear that person calling for a recall of the city council. Now, many people in attendance say that they want to see ICE out of Portland. They want to see the permit to the ICE building revoked. In this specific amendment, nothing was decided. A vote on this ordinance will come at the next city council meeting. Guys?
Our Thomas Schultz reporting live for us this morning. Thank you, Thomas. Meantime, a Portland man has pleaded guilty to arson at the South Waterfront ICE building. Federal prosecutors say in June, Trenton Barker and others built a barricade in front of the facility's gate, lit a flare, and threw it onto the pile. Barker faces up to 20 years in prison and is scheduled to be sentenced in March.
Half of the 200 Oregon National Guard members mobilized by President Trump last month are still in limbo after a new court ruling. Last night, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals issued an order that allows the federal government to keep control of the Guard. Northern Command had already downsized, sending 100 of those Oregon Guard members to Texas to demobilize. Now, that could take about a week. There's no word on how long the Pentagon plans to keep the other 100 Guard members ready to go. A federal judge, though, did permanently block the president from deploying the Guard to Portland's ICE facility, with the Ninth Circuit set to hear an appeal on that sometime next year.
Governor Tina Kotek has signed the Community Safety Firearms Act into law, banning rapid-fire devices like bump stocks and forced reset triggers. The law creates new penalties for possessing, transporting, or manufacturing the devices, and also lets local governments and school boards restrict guns in certain public settings. It also sets a March 2026 start date for Measure 114, which mandates permits for guns and bans large capacity magazines. That measure is still under review by the Oregon Supreme Court.
A new task force has been set up to stop burglaries that have plagued Portland area businesses. This task force will bring together Multnomah County prosecutors, law enforcement, and business owners. The city of Portland alone has experienced about 3,200 burglaries over the past year. We spoke to the owner of Mercantile Portland, who says they've been hit several times. The worst theft for them happened back in 2020.
Over a dozen people came into our store and took merchandise and destroyed things for a total cost of $815,000. We have bars on our windows now. We have bars on our door. We have a doorbell that our customers ring to get into the store.
The task force will hold regular meetings to coordinate on specific cases and also to share some investigative strategies.
Washington Governor Bob Ferguson has declared a state of emergency due to a fuel leak that is disrupting the supply of jet fuel to SeaTac Airport. The leak on the Olympic pipeline in Everett was discovered last week, leading to the pipeline to shut down. Now, Governor Ferguson is temporarily waiving restrictions on how jet fuel can be transported to make sure that SeaTac has enough for its planes. Governor Ferguson says if the pipeline does not start back up by Saturday, airport operations would be, quote, significantly affected.
Some people are raising concerns about the impact that federal budget cuts could have on tsunami alerts here along the West Coast. NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, recently canceled a $300,000 grant that provided real-time seismic information from the Alaska Earthquake Center. The center says it will stop providing those live feeds by the end of this month, reducing the amount of information that goes out to tsunami warning centers. Washington Senator Maria Cantwell went on the record saying any delay in tsunami alerts could put coastal communities at risk.
So if you live or work in Northwest Portland, Goose Hollow, or Sullivan's Gulch, you could wake up to find your vehicle gone if you leave it parked in the road on street cleaning day.
Yep, we're talking about Leaf Day here in the city of Portland. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson has this story for us. So Corey, again, the city is reminding people that they have to move their cars before Leaf Day. Otherwise, people could wind up paying more than $300 to get their car back.
That's exactly right, Drew and China. It's the first week of towing across 10 zones in those areas you just named. And the fees, if you leave your car out and violate the temporary no parking zones, can add up rather fast. So getting into those numbers, first, it's an $85 citation. Then on top of that, the municipal tow fee is $294. And then the price can also swing even higher for larger vehicles. Now, additional funding from the City Council is allowing PBOT to expand Leaf Day service this year. This year it will cover 82 zones in total. That's up from 53. New zones were added in each of the 4 city council districts. The transportation leaders tell us leaves fall onto the streets and end up clogging storm drains, which leads to flooding, which makes the service very crucial.
So Leaf Day is really important, even if your home or your business is not located in one of our 80 some odd leaf zones. You benefit from Leaf Day service because we're preventing street flooding that could affect everyone.
And you can also go to portland.gov/Leaf Day to receive text and email alerts, as well as reminders to move your car out of tow zone areas if you're living in one of those areas where they're working. Drew, China.
All right, Corey Johnson with the latest for us on that as we turn our attention now to Rod's Thursday forecast. What's happening behind you there, Rod?
Scattered showers lingering behind the rain that pushed through last night. And actually, going back to the 3 o'clock hour, it's been pretty dry in Portland. So it's a nice morning overall. Just realize there are some scattered showers around. We're already seeing these decrease. The exception is this area that just keeps getting hammered with heavy downpour after heavy downpour. And I'm talking about you folks up in Ocean Park and Long Beach. So good morning to you. You've had a different scenario than the rest of us have been experiencing. We are getting some nice sunshine, including in downtown Portland. This is looking off from Timberline Lodge. That is 1 inch of new snow on the ground up there this morning. There's the rising sun looking to the southeast from the top of the Wells Fargo building, 46 degrees. So with the showers and the mix of cloudiness we've had overnight, it's a completely different weather experience than we had yesterday morning when we had scattered frosty spots and fog out there. None of that this morning. 41 in Wilsonville, 45 downtown Portland, 45 up in Battleground, Salem 43, Albany is at 40 degrees. Good morning to you folks. Here is Dashiell, which is a bearded dragon who has a duck as a friend. Use the email address petoftheday@kgw.com. Clearly, we have opened the door. Send us anything and everything, and your photo and the name will become our pet of the day. All right, here's our weather map. Some scattered showers lingering out over the Blue Mountains later this afternoon, but really most areas will be dry, including here in the valley, becoming partly cloudy. We're already doing that right now, and we'll look to low to mid 50s for high temperatures. We're dry tomorrow, fog to sun. Saturday, I'm not sure if we get sun or if we cloud over, but it still looks dry. The big forecast change, and here's what's happened. We had a front holding off until Monday, so we had a dry Sunday. Now the timing is sped up, not unusual to happen. Now that front arrives Sunday, which means we get developing rain as early as Sunday morning, and that is your update. Chris has been tracking a rough morning on the road.
Yeah, we've had a lot of trouble spots out there. Let's start off with the drive out of Clark County. It doesn't look as bad as it did earlier. That's I-5 up near Main Street, but that said, your trip in across the river is up to about 35 minutes, so that is in full swing for sure. The other trouble that we've got now on the Banfield, I-84 westbound, we had an injury crash near the I-5 split a little while ago. Emergency responders are still on the scene, and there's the live look at Lloyd Center. And it has looked like this for the last hour. So you can imagine the drive here, when we say it's stacked up solidly, I mean it is thick out towards 82nd Avenue. So you put all that together, and the drive in from Troutdale is almost an hour. 30 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough as you battle the sun glare. And I-5 south of town, we had earlier trouble on the Boone Bridge. That's out of the way. But Drew and China, there still is some residual slowness here getting you out of Marion County northbound heading up into Wilsonville. Back to you.
There has been a lot for you to cover for sure this morning. Thank you, Chris.
We're doing the right thing because we need to, because we have to.
Coming up here on the Sunrise Show, it's the first installment of a brand new KGW series called Local Lift. In today's segment, we're going to show you how a new donation is helping the Sunshine Division reach even more people this holiday season.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Local Lift is a new KGW series highlighting local nonprofits that make a difference in hunger relief, housing security, and children's health.
And I took a look at how one local credit union is helping make sure that families in need have a Thanksgiving meal. Check it out. Volunteers are spending countless hours packing thousands of holiday meal kits for local families.
We have a team of volunteers that are packing frozen turkey kits, which is essentially sides like stuffing and mashed potatoes, which are going to be paired with 2,750 dry boxes of food with things like cranberry stuffing and produce.
And this holiday season, Rivermark is making a big impact on Portland families in need. The financial services company has committed $150,000 over 3 years to support the Sunshine Division's Thanksgiving meal delivery program.
At Rivermark, we are a financial cooperative, and we are here to serve our communities. Our members are our communities, and by extension, all of the folks that benefit through Sunshine Division are our community.
Rivermark says the investment is about more than dollars. It's about empowering the community, ensuring children's well-being, and helping families facing food insecurity.
I'm here with my assistant principal, Miss Murphy, and we're here to pick up 30 meals and turkey kits for our families to just help them get through the holiday break this upcoming week.
For the Sunshine Division, this partnership means more resources to reach the thousands of people who rely on free food assistance, from pantries to home delivery. And for the families receiving these meals, the impact is immediate.
We're doing the right thing because we need to, because we have to. And so to be a part of that, it's a blessing, but it's also, it's a big responsibility, and we take it seriously.
Thanks to Rivermark and Sunshine Division, many will have a warm, full Thanksgiving table this year. And the effort is just one example of how community and businesses can come together to fight hunger.
All right, from one good deed to the next, the Sunshine Division is a great local nonprofit to support, but we also ask for your support of this year's KGW Great Toy Drive as we take a look inside. Yes, we take a look inside the toy box. Of course, we need your help to fill it up here over the next month.
So you can make a cash donation online, and then we'll do the shopping for you. Just go to kgw.com/toy and click donate cash. And all week long, our toy drive partners at Ziply Fiber are donating a portion of all new internet installations up to $5,000 locally. You can also donate toys the old-fashioned way by dropping them off at our collection event this Saturday at Hollywood Fred Meyer from 11 to 2. Hey, just so you know, permits are now available to cut down Christmas trees in all 11 of Oregon's national forests. If you go to recreation.gov, you can choose which forest you want to go to and also buy your permit for that location. Each one costs $5. Also note, each forest has different rules and restrictions, so you have to read that fine print.
I have cut down a Christmas tree in past years, but I've never gone to the national forest.
Yeah, gone out to the tree farm.
That's like the real deal. Yeah. Tree farms,
Going to somebody's backyard.
No, I've never been to a
Hey,
backyard.
Lewis.
I guess
take this one.
The tree farms are probably open this weekend. You think so, Drew? Or?
I've never gone earlier than the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Okay, all right.
So I never even looked to see.
Okay, all right.
So I can't answer your question.
All right, thank you very much. Every time we go to the tree farm,
yes,
we've never found what we're looking for. Then we go to the stupid lot that's like in the grocery store parking lot. We're like, that's the tree.
Which, by the way, growing up in Vegas, that is all we had.
Right.
We had the Safeway parking lot with a gate and like 12 trees.
Yeah.
It was a horrible childhood.
Oh, God. Should we talk more about this here?
My childhood? Okay. So
Sunshine,
in
Sunrise Show
1993.
therapist coming in now?
I'm going to stand here until we go to the weather map because, if we're going to stick with the story, I want to hear it. All right, here's a look at our rainfall map. This is what happened last night. Newport, you are the winners, 39/100ths of an inch. But realize, our story is not reporting, and there have been heavy downpours, especially hitting up into Long Beach this morning. So maybe more than that has fallen up this direction. Portland, 18/100ths of an inch. We did pretty well. This is a system that I would say we got the high end of what looked to be the range of possibility as it moved across last night. Now, Kelso only 4/100ths of an inch. Pearson Airfield picked up 16/100ths, just shy of a tenth up in Seattle. I've been showing you our Timberline camera this morning, which has about an inch of snow. Meadows also saying, hey, we got an inch of snow on the ground. Government camp's fine, obviously just wet, nothing on the ground there, 34 degrees. But we picked up some snow and you get a little bit higher in south down the range. It's still 30, what looks like some slush or maybe some ice patches over Santee M Pass. And with Willamette, the highway may have some icy spots, 29 degrees, a little bit of snow on the ground there. It is that time of the year. No matter what the forecast is or is not, you should always check conditions before you travel and be prepared that at some point going or coming, you might find some wintry conditions. All right, here's a look at our radar. We got scattered showers really across the state. Central Oregon's dry, and really Portland's been dry for the last 4+ hours. Here's that heavy rain that I talked about, and this has been just continuing to channel into this area. Absolute downpours, Long Beach, Ocean Park. I bet you folks do have more than a half of an inch of rain that has fallen. Here's a Futurecast. Shows some showers picking up between Newport and Salem at 9 this morning. Doesn't really show anything into Portland. Now, the lingering scattered shower threat that is there for all of us will be fizzling out later this morning, and it looks like we're going to get a lot of sun this afternoon. We're already getting partly cloudy conditions. Tomorrow we'll start off with fog and then get some sun. This is tomorrow morning. And then there's some cloudiness later in the day Friday. And we may, I'm not sure if these clouds cover us Saturday or if they kind of thin and hold up around us. But for now, Friday and Saturday, both days expected to be dry here locally. Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. There are sneaker wave warnings up for tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, by the way. Pretty shot of the rising sun from the Vancouver, the Springs at the waterfront camera. And here's another pretty shot of blue sky and some shallow fog on the ground. That's the Mount Hood, Oregon Resort up in Welch's, getting into the Cascades at 1,500 feet. All right, 42 the Dalles, 32 in Bend, freezing there, 40 out in John Day. Our forecast, we're starting off in the 40s. We'll end up in the low to mid 50s. Looks mainly dry and just pleasant this afternoon. And light winds 5 to 15. Similar setup in southwest Washington. 54 today, fog to sun, 52 tomorrow. Saturday looks dry. There's the big forecast change from 24 hours ago. Now it looks like rain comes in as early as Sunday morning. Here's Chris.
Out there this morning. Let's go ahead and show you one of the foggy spots. That's down in West Lynn, and the drive, by the way, that's not the shot I wanted to show you. Here we go. The Clackamas southbound of West Lynn is a really slow commute right now, averaging about 12 or 13 miles an hour the whole way for that stretch of freeway. The trip out of Clark County, not great. 40 minutes right now, I-5 Main Street south to the Fremont Bridge, but our biggest trouble spot now continues to be this on the Banfield 84 westbound. A wreck near the I-5 split. Looks like ODOT is still there with the left lane still blocked, and the cameras look the same as they've looked for the last hour, stacked up pretty solidly out to the Gateway District right now. So you put all that together, and the drive coming in from Troutdale is settling in at about 60 minutes right now. That's westbound from Marine Drive, and a solid 50 of that is from I-205 into town. China and Drew, the best workaround for this is Sandy Boulevard for now.
Thank you, Chris. Soon to come on Sunrise, a broken community fridge gets new life after a Southeast Portland neighborhood rallies to save the 24/7 resources. How they're using the funds for that broken fridge to help better the community. Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues in just 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Neighbors in Southeast Portland are saving a project that's been providing free food to the community for years. The PDX Free Fridge, as it's known, allows people to come and take food if they need it, or you can also leave something for someone else. The fridge recently died, though, so one of the neighbors started a fundraiser to replace it. Meanwhile, someone else wound up donating a used fridge, so the money from the fundraiser will now help fix the shed around the free fridge and the pantry next to it.
But this is something local within your community that can be supported by that individual community. So it might seem like a small thing, but it really is so grand.
Neighbors say they want to expand the fridge setup so that people can also donate clothes.
KGW Sunrise continues live on KGW Plus, and coming up at 8, new data shows that more than a third of Oregon students were chronically absent from school last year. And that's already an improvement from the pandemic. We'll dive into those data.
Plus, a state of emergency declared in Washington because of a pipeline leak. We're going to talk about how this could impact SeaTac. We'll have that story for you coming up here in just a couple of minutes. The 8 o'clock hour of sunrise is just a few minutes away as we take this live look from our Timberline Lodge Skycam. Yep, snow on the mountain, but man, we've been talking about this for weeks now. Not enough snow, certainly not enough to even consider the opening of ski season at our local resorts. Rod will have more on today's local forecast for you as we kick off that 8 o'clock hour in just a moment.